When playing for England, who do you think should have been given the opportunity to play for England but was not called up?
England has changed so much since I was a kid. I remember when I was growing up watching England, if you were playing well for your club team, 9 times out of 10, the international team was called out, you would play. Now everything is set in stone. It don't matter how well you're playing for your club team, the England team is already set in stone.
Wow.
Already set in stone. And
People like Steve Bruce never made the England team.
Now that has been going on for the past 10, 15 years.
Wow, that's
to be fair, at your time, there were some great strikers around. Robbie Fowler didn't get a chance.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But if you look at it,
Shearer got the
even
goal
further back, even the Jimmy Greenough days.
If you look at the England team now, yeah, what changes have been made from, for instance, Ericsson?
Well, John Terry won't be playing anymore. but I know what you mean. It's same,
always
same
the
squad.
same. You could be playing some of the best football you've ever played. I mean, I look at someone like Michael Carrick, not just because of Manchester United player. Yeah? Michael Carrick's a fantastic player. And when you talk about, I mean, starting the player from the back into your midfield player, what does Michael Carrick do for Manchester United? 40 games a season. Gets it started from the back. He gets left out the Euro squad because the manager perceives he's only good enough to sit on the bench. How does that work?
But why do you think that's the case, though? Why do you think it's so?
Because everything is set in stone. The England team is set in stone. Whoever's going to play will play.
But hasn't a manager got to believe in the players that he's got, and he fits the players to the system that he's around, and he's got a choice with England?
Yeah, I'm not shooting that, but what I'm saying, if someone's not playing particularly well, and someone is playing well, why can that not be changed?
Are you talking about the whole Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard?
I'm just talking everything in general. Why can that not be changed? If you look at, someone mentioned it today, and I was speaking to them today. If you look at Germany, what did Germany do?
They picked 4
World Cup.
players.
So Germany went at it, right? We're going to bring in all these young players now who are playing the 21s or whatever. We're not expecting anything from the World Cup, but we're looking forward to the Euros. When do they get to in the World Cup? Semis? In the Euros?
And re-energise the nation, to be fair. Germany have always been an exception.
As England, what do we do?
Same as Italy. That's what we do. Italy are very similar. They have a core of players who they select time and time and time again. But they don't do too badly.
They don't do too badly. They've got one absolutely stunning midfield player who dictates the play, and the rest of them can play and the work rate around him. I mean, we keep talking about all the youth we've got and how good they're going to be. Now, we can talk all we like. If you're not going to give them a chance, keep talking.
We're talking about Pirlo and Carrick and how they were maybe a bit similar.
I mean, they'll get the play going. You've got to get the play going. If you want to play super football from the back, you've got to have someone in midfield who's prepared to get on the ball all the time and play. That's the only way forward.
Happy days?
Well, Walcott's been given a chance. He scored a hat-trick. He's at 21. Andy Carroll's still only 22. Players are coming in.
Name who else?
Jordan Henderson has been on the out. Okay, I won't go there.
Who else?
No, but you need your experienced players. Would you drop?
How many experienced players do you do? So you just mentioned there, Germany are the exception.
They still had Miroslav Klose up front.
Right.
And
how many games does he play? Actually start? He has him around. He might start the odd game, but if you look at their team now, from the goalkeeper, back four, upwards.
So you'd be prepared to lose 5, 6, 7 or 8 games on the bounce for England?
Why not? How are you going to move forward? Yeah. By beating teams like, who did they beat the other day? Was it Moldova or something like that? You beat them 5-0, oh, absolutely brilliant, blah, 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 blah. You come to Ukraine, you struggle, and all of a sudden it's back to square one.
But
technically we're not this, technically we're not that, but we beat Moldova, everyone was saying technically we're the best in the world.
Is it not the case now that there's less quality English players available to be selected because of the foreigners in the Premier League?
I wouldn't blame the foreigners. That's what I wouldn't do. I mean, what the foreigners have brought to the Premiership is technique, skill, flair, whatever. Now it's for the English FA to make up their mind what they want to do. I mean, small-sided goals, or we've been talking about that since I was a kid.
So you reckon if for England to win the World Cup again, it's been since 1966, yeah? What do you think is the problem? Is it, like you're saying, it's too set in stone, the selection of the players?
And the whole system needs to be overhauled. I think the whole system. I'm not just talking about players. I mean, you know the football in England, yeah? You know the FA. Now, you look on the FA board, that panel, how many has actually played football?
That's very correct. It's not a professional football setup, it's amateurs, because they have a bigger, wider brief that they have to deal with.
Right.
There's two sides to every.
So if we're talking, we want to prepare ourselves, move forward in football in terms, yeah? I think it's only Trevor Booking. Yeah? Now, you could have, for instance, I don't know, a school teacher telling someone that I play football, not being disrespectful, a school teacher.
But the FA is more than just dealing with your national team. The FA, football belongs to the people. It is the ultimate socialist game.
And what do the people want?
They don't all want just one team to dominate. They want competitive levels, and they want to have opportunities to play
as England,
football.
yeah, what do the England fan want?
An England fan would like England to do well.
So how are you going to dominate playing better football if you look at what's there at the FA and saying, right, this is how we're going to go about things? When you look at it, you turn around and say, well, how many of the people at the FA play football? We can talk and talk and talk about, oh yeah, grassroots. What do they actually know about grassroots?
Can't disagree with that, but the grassroots are important.
Of course.
And the schools are looking after the schools and running the leagues and,
why don't you
running
get
after the states.
Why don't you get people involved in it who have played the game, understand the game?
They're trying to do that. There's 10,000 qualified coaches now, and they're working hard on that.
How many have actually played the game? That's what I'm talking about. You can qualify by, school teacher can qualify because they can write brilliantly and put everything in nice paragraphs and all that. How many of those coaches played the game?
So to a level, to a degree, not to the top level, but a lot of coaches will have played to a decent semi-pro level.
There you go. You're talking semi-pro. Now, if we're going to go forward, you need better than semi. I'm not being disrespectful to semi-pro football. We need to be. That's where we're.
I think the English FA have to study the FAM.
Because we seem to have similar problems, actually.
You guys have been discussing about English
bring
football.
up in Corkhill about who is actually doing the grassroots development, non-players, who's sitting in the FAM, non-players. It's very similar. Yeah, actually. Wow.
So the players have got to start to put an awful lot back into the football then.
I'll be honest with you. Do you know why a lot of players, retire from football and don't bother going to do the coaching badges and all that? Because, for instance, you go and do your coaching badge, and you could have a guy who's got all the qualifications, who's played at no level whatsoever, saying to you, well, I think you should make this run, I think you should do this, and you look at him as if to say, well, did you play the game? No, I didn't play the game, but I'll tell you what, qualifications, it beats the object.
We have this within Malaysia as well, where we talk about the best way to develop Malaysian football, and it's strikingly similar.